The reason that the sketch bothered me, and I'll just say it in a nutshell, jokes are jokes. I do comedy, everything. Jokes are jokes, fine. I just happen to come from a very, very particular place, and you can't tell me what I can and can't feel. I feel Paul Mooney, I worshipped at the shrine of Paul Mooney. I never said that Paul Mooney wasn't funny or Paul Mooney wasn't a genius and a writer. I love Paul Mooney. I love Dave. So imagine my shock. I'm sitting at home. My barber came over to my spot. He's doing da-da-da-da, and the Chappelle show's on. I'm excited. I was like, okay, we get through the whole thing, and then boom, Negro, what's up? Wayne Brady looked like him. I went, oh. I didn't laugh at it, not because I was like, I'm above being made fun of. If your joke is funny, please make fun of me. That's what we do. But to me, and now because you saw me talk to my bullies, also Kendra and Nicole. Kendra and Nicole, you
Come
know
on
who
down.
you are. Kendra Adams.
It's always an Adams.
It's always an Adams. Adams, Jones, Johnson
Wilson,
Harris.
right.
That race has always been a subject that has played, because what does it mean to be black? You know, the kid that grew up watching certain things, doing certain things, liking certain things, so those things form you. So I've always had that in the back of my mind as a thing. So when I see that, I'm like, the joke isn't funny. To me, it doesn't even scan, because you're now making fun of Brian Gumbel, who, like, say what you want to say about it, but Brian Gumbel, this incredibly successful man in his own right, doing this thing. So now you're going to use me to take down him or him to me, and then that means that I'm not black enough. And so does that mean that one of my comedic heroes, Dave Chappelle, who I've rocked with since Robin Hood Men in Tights and watching him at evenings at the Improv before he blew up, this dude really knows who I am. Oh, that's awesome. But now they're going to shit on me? And Paul Mooney, who I love, he doesn't think I'm black enough? That's really, wow. That shakes you, which is why Wayne doesn't go out and talk to people, because I don't want to deal with that shit sometimes. So I was already in my feelings about it from a race place and just from a joke point. I didn't feel that it was a good joke. I thought it was too easy. Fuck those guys. Immediately, I'm a very petty, angry person inside sometimes when it comes to certain things. So I was already like, well, I guess I can't watch a Chappelle show. Click, I can't enjoy the genius that is Dave Chappelle. Fast forward to, I forget what the show was. It was an award show. It might have been the Hoodies. Steve Harvey's Hoodies or something, but Darnell was in the lobby bar. We were in the bar. Darnell was with somebody else, and I recognized him immediately because I like the show. Oh, it's Ashley Larry. But fuck you, I'm not gonna drink my drink. He comes over, so wonderful and gracious. Wayne, hey, I'm Donnell. I play Ashley. I know who you are. I've seen your little playlets.
Right.
Just do the energy. And he was so sweet. He was like, Wayne, blah, blah, blah. I said, oh, yeah, that's great. I love the show. Up until that whack-ass joke by Paul Mooney, blah, da, 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 da. But thanks. He goes, oh, my God. I mean, we have love for you. I was like, to be honest, I don't know. And I have to preface it, I had been drinking. So I was like, really? Was that how you love me, black man? Is that really? So I just go on about my day. Cut to the next day. This is how fast the shit did happen. So I don't know the timeline that you're talking about in terms of when you came out to LA, but it happened where...
Well, I was at the Four Seasons Hotel, so...
Okay, so that might have been... So whenever I saw him, then the next day I was doing my talk show. I get my assistant comes as I'm in the writer's room. Wayne, you got a phone call. Who? Dave Chappelle. I was like, why is Dave Chappelle? No, you're lying. Dave Chappelle. Okay. Dave. Dave? Hello? Hey, man, it's Dave. Oh, man, it just so sweet. It's like, look, I didn't write that joke. Mooney came up with it. I really didn't like the shit either, but you know, I like the character and da-da-da. No offense was meant. Now, the fact that, and now we live in a day and age, no one's going to backtrack on a joke. For folks like, I said what I said and I said it. So that itself, we could have just stopped it there. It couldn't have gone any further. It's like, would you ever want to be on the show? I said, are you kidding me? It would be a dream. I would. Well, then what are you doing this weekend? Or if this was a Friday or something. So I flew out. I said, I'll come to New York immediately. Great. I'm going to put you in touch with Neil, and you guys decide what we're going to do, and we're going to do something great with that. Great. Thanks, Dave. I was on cloud 9, so I immediately started thinking of ideas. And this is where it's just so cool. So I'm writing stuff on the plane. Neil had already worked out some stuff. So when I get to New York, it all happens like this. I get off the plane. We go to where you guys shot, I think in Brooklyn or someplace, or whatever. We get up as soon as I get in. I go. Neil's waiting for me. He's like, "So what do you want to do?" Blah 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 blah. He goes, "We've got this idea of like doing this training day thing because, you know, like you do your talk show." Oh, and at this time, this is when I was leaving my talk show because I found out that because I told somebody off at Disney that they threatened me and said, "Oh, you know, if you don't do this particular thing, we always can find someone to do your show." And I said, "Oh, if you can find another Wayne Brady to do the Wayne Brady show, please be my guest." I come back and Tony Danza's name is in the papers, but that's cool. Wow. So I was like, "Great, I'm out of this."
I'm
bitch.
asking the wrong goddamn question.
I'm having all the black people I want on the show because they had a band, not a band because they were going to say, "We never said that." Certain guests that I'd bring up, they would go, "Oh, no, you can't do that, blah, 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 blah." So I was like, really? I had Missy Elliott, Busta Rhymes. If you were black and my favorite rapper, you were on that show, your show at that time. So this was great. I was like, yes. So in my mind, I was like, we need to do something that will burn the house down. Fuck it, let's go. So Neil's idea was the training day thing.
Right.
And I said, well, if we're doing training day where I'm showing Dave through the neighborhood and doing shit, then we really need to lean into the fact of when folks are like, "Oh, Wayne, I love you because I see your talk show where you're this, you're everybody's favorite black guy, blah, 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 blah." I said, I want to do a thing where a cop stops me and he starts singing my jingle, and I wrote that, and then I'm going to go be behind him and I'm going to kill him. And that'll freak.
I do that to this day.
All right, here we go.
And that'll freak out Dave, and I want a microphone to come down. He's going, "Great, well, let's do that." And then we'll do the other thing with an ATM and you'll get your money. So like we'll follow the beats. I said, great. So we came up with it. So we had these two ideas and mushed them together. We shot it all night. We wrapped like 6 a.m. because I had to get back on a plane to go back to shoot. And then I get a call like Monday. He's like, "Dude, this is amazing. You aren't going to be ready. I think we've made history."
Yes.
Wow.
And I knew it, like not often are you in the middle of something, but I knew it as we're doing it because there were such disparate worlds, right? Of Dave in this and me, especially of that time of what folks thought of me and the gigs I was doing. It's like, well, how does that all fit together? And we weren't doing a sketch in my mind. I was like, no, I'm really doing this shit because I'm also showing you what I do as an actor.
Right.
It's like, we're really doing this. And the way that he shot it, and it was a beautiful thing that came together. And I knew that we made TV history. I knew it.
Dog, when I'm telling you, like Rick
Don't
James.
smoke this, nigga. We have a problem.
Right. Right. Up until that point, they were really excited about the racial draft. But the way they were talking about how quickly this thing came together and how... And I was disappointed because I couldn't add music to it. Like I was like, all right, so what am I going to do? What am I going to do? They're like, it's done already, man. You wait till it comes on, and literally, okay. So, how was perception of you or reaction? How did that change after that episode?
Instantaneous, because at that point, you know, the Chappelle show was everywhere all the time. It was on a loop. So everywhere you went. And being on tour and going, you know, to various cities, I could see the reactions. Like and right after that, I was on tour. You know, like I was in Philly and New York and Atlanta and Chicago and Detroit. So I got to see firsthand black reaction to the sketch. Now the thing is that I never want the narrative to be like, all black people voted unanimously that Wayne Brady was corny or whatever, because that was not the case. Yeah. More black people rocked with me than not. It was some, and fine, you can say what you wanted to, but I did notice as soon as that sketch hit, this is the thing that I got, which I loathe to this day, but I know where it comes from. When like there's a particular cat comes up, "Yo, Wayne, nigga." That's that dude. I'm gonna slap me a hoe. It's like, no, man. It's actually It's actually choke a bitch. He's
bitch.
like, yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. Yo, I gotta tell you something. I didn't fuck with you before. I didn't fuck with you.
People get all honest.
I didn't fuck with you before. I was like, well, thanks for telling me your inner thoughts. You didn't digest my, okay, fine. But now, nigga, now, hug me, now, man, now? And then I'm like, well, thank you. But the funny thing is, so you love me now because I had hoes, made Dave take drugs,
killed
I
the
was
cop.
I was like,
Performative
okay,
blackness.
yeah, I get it. But the thing that I love the most about it is whatever your reaction and whatever you felt, and I feel it to this day. It's a classic sketch. It's in the Museum of Television History. I love Dave, and I thank Neil and I thank Donnell for coming up to me because I got a chance to do something that was so dope. And I see the effects of it today that people got to see because I was doing a Disney talk show. I was doing an ABC talk show.
Right.
I was on a Who's Line at night. I was doing those things. Now, the people that followed my act that saw me in the comedy clubs and theaters, they knew that it's kind of like the Bob Saget thing. That
Right.
my act is my act, and
Full
I
House
tell
is something
you tell folks, just because you watched Who's Line or your kid likes Sophia the First, don't bring your kid to my show because it's not that kind of show. So it's not that. So I felt
see.
that began a shift where folks, to your point earlier, where folks say that they really don't know me, they know the things that I do. I feel that was a step in people going, okay, I guess there's more to the person than I thought. And if it takes an event like that to make you open your mind, then cool. I don't care where it comes from as long as it comes.
I'll ask you though.
Yes, sir.
And this is an objective question, so I don't know if I can get a definitive answer.
Of course.
Is the grass greener on the other side?
Well, I would not know still because, and this is a larger conversation for a thing, I have issues where I still feel where now it's mostly, oddly enough, ironically, it's white Hollywood and white studio execs, and I'll even say agents that I've had in the past and people that, because black is black to me. We are not a monolith. That's what Wiz is about. Come see the Wiz until June 10th. And so
Until June 11th.
oh,
no.
no, but you got to see it in general. But just know that's what. So black is all these beautiful things. But the problem is that when we call each other out and we go, oh, you not black of this or your experiences in this, there are people on the other side listening, like studio execs and like other people that they're, so that's not black enough. So what is black, Jamal? Tell me, what is black? And he's like, well, I don't mess with that dude, but I think that dude. Okay, great. So my problem on the grass side isn't even with my own folks. I love my folks and my folks mess with me. It's how I am perceived, I think, even for roles, even in series that I know that I would kill it. I am by the gatekeeper who maybe the show creator's black, but the studio head is like, oh no, I wouldn't consider Wayne Brady for that.